Hi everybody, welcome to Lost Lake Fly Club tutorials. Tonight I'm going to be demonstrating and showing you how to tie one of my favourite buzzers that's always in my box. It's a little buzzer. It's again another very simple one. There are some quite complicated buzzers out there, but let's keep them simple. I'm going to start off with one of my favourite hooks, which is the Fulling Mill FM5065. It's a Czech Nymph hook. It's really useful, really versatile hook this. And my tying thread tonight is UTC 70 denier in black. Okay, and I'm just going to start on the hook. I'm just going to place my tying thread about 1.5, maybe 2 mils away from the eye, and I'm just going to build up a nice little base of thread up to the hook point and just beyond it, one turn beyond it, and I'm going to remove the tag end of my tying thread, and you can see that I've got the first part of my base layer already in. Now for the rib for this particular buzzer, I'm going to use some blue holographic tinsel. This is very fine. There's lots of them on the market at the moment, and I don't need a lot. And I'm just going to bring it underneath my tying thread. I'm going to lift up my tying thread. I'm going to place it down, and I'm just going to pull it through so I haven't got too much sticking out the top. Don't want to pull it too hard though, because it will just pull out. And then I'm just going to take my tying thread, using touching turns, using my tinsel to support me to do that. Just give it a little twist to get that twist out of my tying thread. I'm just going to bring it all the way down to the point at which my tying thread is parallel with the hook point, just above it. And I'm just going to unwind my thread. I'm going to run my finger up and down it just to check and see whether or not it has flattened out. And you can see that it has flattened there. I'm just going to take it all the way back up around the bend of the hook up to the point at which I tied in the holographic tinsel. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind on my rib. I'm going to do it the opposite direction to the way in which I wind on my tying thread. And I'm going to start off with a wrap at the bottom, and I'm going to keep these, the first 2 or 3 wraps of tinsel, relatively close together to mimic the segmentation in a chironomid. And as I bring it up around the bend, I'm just going to increase the distance between segments, get a semi-lifelike appearance. I'm going to take it up. When I get to the point at which I tied it in originally, I'm going to tie it down with a lock-in wrap, 1 and then a second, and that's pretty much secured in place. And there we go. So now I'm going to come in with my scissors. I'm just going to take a little cut and then just tie down that tag end, and leaving my tying thread in the middle of the thorax area, which is where I want it to be. So for this particular buzzer, I'm just going to put some breathers in, and I'm not going to worry about cheeks and things like that. I just want it very plain, but just that trigger point of the blue flash for the fish. So I'm going to use some white Antron, and I've taken a piece of white Antron, and what I've done is I've used my my bobbin needle to actually separate it in half, so I haven't got a really thick amount to stick out. So again, I'm going to take it underneath my tying thread, and I'm going to trap it on top. There we go. I'm going to trap it just on top, of my hook shank. Put a second locking thread in, and then 1, 2 towards the back. And now I'm going to come in with my scissors again, and I'm just going to cut it at a 45-degree angle, like so, so that when I tie these down, I don't get any unsightly steps or bulges in my thorax area. And there we go so far. I'm just going to spin my bobbin again, remove some of that twisting that happens, and then I'm just going to move very slowly forward with touching turns, trying not to twist the breathers around the hook shank till I get in towards the eye. There we go, not too close. And then I'm going to go back again. Now you can go back and forth a number of times. You can have this section as pronounced as you like. I tend to do it 3 or 4 times, or at least until I'm happy with a very flat thorax area. So I'm just going to add in another one, and I'm going to come back. Oh, too far apart there. I'm going to come back down towards the eye. And then I'm going to take the Antron, and I'm just going to hold it back. I'm going to build a little dam just in front for the head, just to cock the Antron up. And then I'm going to put another wrap on the other side, and then come back around, put a final wrap. And I'm going to whip finish. I'm just going to put 3 little whip finishes. 1, 2, 3. And we're almost done. There we go. Now I'm going to just remove my tying thread with my scalpel, and there we've got it. So I do quite like leaving my breathers a little bit longer than normal until I'm out fishing, because then I can adjust them when I'm out on the bank side. But I tend to go for a length that's just the length of the thorax as my key measurement. There we go. And we've got a beautiful little flat profile buzzer that looks as slim as all of those little chironomids you see swimming around in buckets of water that are left out in the summer. And just to finish this off, I'm just going to put on a coat of Sally Hansen varnish, very thin coat, so I'm not coming in with loads of it. You could resin this, put some UV resin on. This does make these colours ping. It just makes the blue of the holographic tinsel just stand out that little bit more. And there we go. And there we have it. So what we've got here is our finished buzzer. I tend to have a couple of rows of these in multiple colours, multiple sizes. Particularly useful for tracking down still water browns that are just in the margins, and just dropping it on their noses if you're stalking, if you don't want to put in a really heavy bug that's going to make a plop on the surface. You just drop this in, let it sink, and then just jig it up, and they'll often rise up, and you suddenly see a flare of those gill plates, and suddenly, oh yeah, you're in, and it's an impulse strike there. So hope you've enjoyed that. Give it a go, and let us know how you do. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Come and visit us at our shop at www.lostlakefly.co.uk to stock up on your fly tying materials, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.